painting is just one of them that we expose them to. We shall also do carpentry. We shall also do metalwork. There are other vocations that they are getting involved in, like fish farming, beekeeping, piggery, poultry, and mushroom growing.
The students undertaking this new curriculum at Busoga College Mweri have outlined the benefits of the curriculum.
This is one of the survival skills we have in life. In case I study, I get my degrees and diplomas, it can be a survival skill in case I don't get a job.
The resident city commissioner Mbarara, Lieutenant Colonel Mwesije James, has decried the slow speed at which Multiplex Datacom is handling Mbarara city roads. The RDC says that the roadworks have over-delayed and the public is being inconvenienced. Residents of Yumbe, especially those in Arafat sub-county, are in near delirium upon government's provision of safe water. This safe water is the Adipo piped water scheme that is as a result of the Office of the Prime Minister, monitored by the Development Initiative for Northern Uganda project. Let's have a look.
Government of Uganda's commitment to ensure service delivery is at 100% isn't about lip service, as witnessed in Yumbe district, where the Adibo piped water scheme is soon becoming a reality. This water project in Arafa sub-county started last year and is a result of the Development Initiative for Northern Uganda, DINU project.
I'm also happy that it is going to benefit over 10,000 people. And I'm also happy there is a strong management committee of the local community here. I am happy that they are very enthusiastic about the water project. That means there is some ownership actually created already in the community. So my message is, this is a big project and this is a lifelong project. The committee, the management committee should ensure that they protect this property, and they should ensure that there is sustainability, because after here the consumers of the water will have to pay for operations and management. And my appeal to them is to sensitize the people to accept this project.
To the residents, this water project that will serve 7 parishes in villages like Onya, Ira, Okuyo, Kupria and Dramba isn't only massive but timely.
And the challenges that we faced before this project, one, people were drinking from well and most preferable that water. And there were a lot of challenges with the domestic violence and maternal challenges also in health centers, because this water is connected to the health centers and also to the schools and other religious institutions like mosques and churches here. So we believe this project is going to eradicate or eliminate most of these challenges I've just mentioned here.
Development Initiative for Northern Uganda is an office of the Prime Minister monitored project that is funded by the European Union and targets 3 key areas of governance: infrastructure and food security, nutrition and livelihoods. John Barnes, Center, GBC News.
The resident city commissioner in Mbarara City, Lieutenant Colonel Mwesije James, has decried the slow speed at which Multiplex Datacom is handling the roads. The RDC says that roadworks have delayed and the public is being inconvenienced.
Mbarara resident city commissioner Lieutenant Colonel Mwesije James has said delayed works by Multiplex on city roads has affected business and transport in Mbarara. This was during an on-spot check on roadworks being done by Uganda Support Municipal Infrastructure Development, a World Bank funded project.
Work done by Multiplex, of course, has been having problems and still has problems. Then the work by Chico, that one is progressing very well, as you can see. Maybe the other problem is at Red Corner, which is also not progressing very well.
The mayor, Mbarara City, Robert Mugabe Kachebezi, says Multiplex Datacom is a problem because it does not complete its work as agreed. Kachebezi instructed all contractors to ensure they do the work and complete in time and of standard quality.
But we have a challenge of some of the roads which have taken some time, like those ones of Multiplex, which have stayed for more than the time we are expecting the completion. And as of now, he is promising that the remaining part of works, which is even smaller, can be done within only 1 month. And he finishes, because it is just a matter of putting asphalt. But my worry is, can 1 month this gentleman finish this work?
A senior urban development specialist and task team leader, World Bank, Stephen Ajalu, said Multiplex Datacom has not performed well and the contract time has run out.
There is one contractor. Part of Mbarara, there is the same contractor, which is doing the cluster. And that contractor has not performed well. In reality, his contract time has run out. Even after consideration for extensions, for all the genuine claims for extension.
The member of Mbarara City Development Forum in charge of roads, electricity, water and industries, Chimbareba Fred, revealed that the contractor claims to have delayed works on Victor Bwana Road due to difficult drainage channels. The city clerk, Mbarara Asitu Mwesijire, says the Multiplex Datacom has been given enough extension. What remains is to terminate the contract.
Parental negligence in raising children has also been cited as a source of moral decay among families. The Director, National Leadership Institute, Brigadier General Christopher Chisembo, was passing out 500 learners after completing a patriotism course at Mpanga Senior School in Fort Portal District.
More than 500 students have been trained to change their mindset and behavior by trainers from National Leadership Institute Chankwanzi.
Why these courses are being conducted? Because these courses really focus on ideology, focus on discipline. So once people have learned the tenets of ideology, they have learned what a patriot really is, then that will have a positive impact on their mindset. They will change.
The Director, National Leadership Institute, Brigadier General Charles Chisembo, advised the parents to be keen as they bring up their children to make them responsible citizens.
Most of these students really say that they have changed, that they are going to be responsible citizens, and the headmaster as well also says that those who previously went through this training have become messengers of hope. So I'm very confident that this training will add much to the students' discipline and level of commitment and patriotism.
The head teacher Mpanga Senior Secondary School, George Ruyonga, said that the training had come at the right time as some students were developing a habit of getting involved in strikes.
We are preparing our students for the holidays, first-term holidays, and they have gone through patriotism training. Our expectation is that this training has helped us to improve on discipline. The training has also helped us for the students to become more reliable to their parents, help their parents, and actually come out with the love for their country, like the theme is for this part.
National Leadership Institute Chankwanzi is to extend the training sessions across all schools in the country. Ivan Joko, Patrick Mugera for UBC.
Christians have been asked to discern between false prophets and the real preachers of the gospel in order not to fall off the course of their faith. In his Sunday sermon to Christ parishioners, Reverend Deacon Edmond Ryutu said that false prophets are leading unsuspecting members of the public astray.
The first Sunday after Easter has been observed at the Christ the King Church, Kampala, with the call to Christians to embrace prayer for better livelihoods. In his sermon, Reverend Deacon Edmond Ariut of Soroti Catholic Diocese urged Christians to put God first in whatever they do, and they shall not regret. Deacon Ariut asked all Christians to pray for the good shepherds who have offered services to the congregation so that they continue preaching the gospel.
We celebrate Good Shepherd Sunday and also Vocation Sunday. The church invites us in a special way to pray for vocations and also to pray for shepherds that the Lord has given to the church so that they may continue to lead the people of God to their destiny. As making attention on shepherds who have consistently promised blessings, promised success, promised healing to the people of God, and yet behind them lie manipulations of the people of God. We must rely on the chief shepherd, and that is Christ.
Deacon Ariut urged Christians across the church to be mindful of false prophets who do not mean anything good to Christian faith.
Dear brothers and sisters, as we continue to reflect on this Sunday, we must pay keen attention on the shepherds of the world that we have today. They are shadow shepherds who have led astray the people of God. To save us and give us life into His fullness, we must therefore stick to Christ, the chief shepherd, and follow Him so that we may certainly attain the eternal kingdom.
This is the first Sunday after Easter holiday days of the Christian faith.
Parents have been advised to interest their children into leadership positions to grow them into responsible citizens starting at an early age. Now, this was during a swearing-in ceremony for student leaders of Caring Hearts Primary School at Caring Heart Victory Community Church in Kagula in Kakiri, Wakiso District.
I, Liana Feibe, swear in the name of the Almighty God.
Student leaders at Caring Heart Primary School on Kagula Hill, Kakiri, Wakiso District have been sworn in.
I will also preserve and protect the school rules and regulations of Caring Heart Primary School. So help me God.
The message was to parents to encourage their children into leadership because it grows their responsibility at an early age.
n'abaana bammwe naffe tubeere nga tubalaba nga tubategeera or support them in any way.
Today is a very unique ceremony. Our school started in 2007 and this year round, because our God is a God of new beginning, new things, we decided to make things different. We held a special electoral process because it is part of the things that government is telling us to instill in our children.
The student leadership at Caring Heart Primary School is of about 20 members, led by Head Prefect Fio Beliana, who is assisted by Gideon Sebufu and Faith Namata.
I am a head prefect of this school. I am looking forward to make our school the best school in all of the world. I'm going to be a head prefect who will make this school be a good school. Thank you. May the God bless you.
The Ministry of Teso Affairs has disbursed 153 million shillings to fund the construction of Kalachi Katiti Seed Secondary School that was established by the community in Kalachi district. The 2-year-old school, without its permanent structures, has been operating in the church premises before it was relocated to the temporary structures of the nearby primary school. These are the details.
Kalachi Katiti Seed Secondary School started operating from a church before being relocated to the temporal premises of the nearby primary school.
We found it very difficult to have the 3 classes in the church, so we requested assistance from the primary school called Katiti, and they gave us some 3 free classrooms, which we are now using as the classrooms for our students.
The school is now expected to get its own premises by June this year, following the disbursement of 153 million shillings by the Ministry of Teso Affairs.
So it is part of the deliberate program of the NRM to ensure that education for all is achievable. Often people complain about the quality, about the standards and all that. We know it ourselves. In NRM, we know. We want to set this foundation first, then when it is in place, we will begin working on the quality and on the standards.
The school management is still asking well-wishers for more support, saying 2 classrooms are not enough to accommodate the Seed Secondary School.
We needed 4 classrooms since we are having 4 classes, that is senior 1 to senior 4. But according to the quotation, as if they are going to give us only 2 classrooms, so it will not be enough. So we are requesting that if the government could again come in and add some classrooms, then the office and the store.
The contractor appealed to the authorities to be flexible in drafting the bill of quantities, since the inflation is biting their business.
When we look at the shell, we saw that it was a concrete thing. It is just minor. We quoted the 300,000 to construct the thing. When we go and look at it critically, fearing the technical team, the engineers who are more high education, come to look at and check the quality of work, we found that a door alone took 700,000 to weld it or to fabricate it. From the person who is fabricating, he's going to buy the material from the Indian, and he's going to count for you the labor and the material he has used, total to that. Yet I quoted on there. Because of the ignorance of what I studied, it's not enough, it's not clear.
This is coupled with the bribes asked by the civil servants in form of kickbacks, hence resulting into shoddy works.
If you see the outcome of a contractor's work looking shoddy, you know that the people who should have supervised him were instead eating from him. And since the contractor is in this business to make a living, it is the people who will suffer because he has to make a difference.
Joseph Okow, UBC.
Students of Bweranyanji Girls School have embraced patriotism. Now, patriotism is a President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni initiative aimed at encouraging students and teachers to become enlightened citizens committed to national service.
In 2009, President Yoweri Museveni launched a new program to inculcate the norms and values of patriotism in all students in secondary schools and the youth of Uganda, subsequently known as National Patriotic Program. Several schools have since embraced patriotism, with Bweranyanji Girls School joining the queue.
We thank His Excellency the President for this program, because he's the patron of patriotism programs, Uganda. It is his brainchild, which he started in 2009, and all the values that we should keep our country intact, keep our values, love ourselves, love our country, and work hard to sustain ourselves and our country. All this is the President's brainchild.
The occasion to pass out 2,100 cadres was graced by Mushenyi Woman Member of Parliament, Katusime Mugisha.
His Excellency the President, from those trainers from State House, they should find a way of extending this program to other schools. And as members of Parliament, we shall be more than ready to pass the budget to make sure that they all get it.
Patriotism looks at values like love, loyalty and sacrifice, responsibility, discipline and duty, and also holds Pan-Africanism and the East African integration highly.
Patriotism has helped us to love our country, Uganda, and it has sharpened our minds because we wake up early in the morning every day to practice and stay. And this course has helped me learn that I should love my fellows.
Learners are continuously becoming more vulnerable to road crashes due to the absence of safe school zones and indiscipline of riders and some drivers. Now, this time alone, learners from different schools got involved in road crashes around and out of school zones that left some dead and others nursing serious injuries.
A safe school zone is an area within the vicinity of a school or near a crosswalk leading to a school where there is likely presence of young pedestrians. Around school zones are safety signs that include signage indicating speed limits, speed humps, children crossing, school ahead, and zebra crossing, among others. These are all traffic calming measures put in place to improve safety of young pedestrians or learners around school zones. We visited two schools located near the city center to establish whether they had some of these safety measures. We started from Chitante Primary School, one of the schools located around the city center along one of the busiest roads in Kampala, which has an enrollment of over 3,000 learners. Of the school gate are humps and speed limit signs that alert motorists of the school ahead. Also at the main gate, about 20 meters off the road, are several signposts and warnings on speed limit. However, even with these calming measures, the school adds to some of those schools that registered fatal road crashes this term that left at least 2 of their learners nursing severe injuries.
Many of our children, I should say this term, have been involved in accidents, and yet we have their humps near that road near the school.
The 2 learners currently nursing severe injuries at Mulago Hospital were among the total 8 pupils who were involved in separate road crashes that even made them miss their first term studies due to the injuries sustained.
We didn't lose any, but they had, we should call it serious or terrible accidents, and they broke their arms, their legs. As I talk, some are still in Mulago Hospital.
Jane Chakwa, the head teacher at Kitante Primary School, says the incidents were mainly caused by indiscipline of motorists, to be particular cyclists. She sought anonymity of the learners.
The road users don't really respect the road signs, they don't respect the zebra crossing.
Just like Chitante, Buganda Road Primary School is also located in the center of Kampala City. Although with a well-paved road, marked zebra crossing, proper walkways, overspeeding of motorists along this road does not guarantee safety of children crossing.
We have a zebra crossing and also humps, but the zebra crossing is not respected by the motorists and cyclists.
Although Buganda Road is a one-way, the indisciplined cyclists abuse the road rules by riding on the opposite direction, running over the children, walking on the right-hand side. James Juko is the head teacher, Buganda Road Primary School.
It's meant to be one way, but there are border people who do the opposite direction, and they have sometimes run over our children.
So I think some of these things will call upon the moral fiber
of the society.
The common scenarios on the safety concern by both Buganda Road and Kitante School is that even with the presence of safety signs, the indiscipline of motorists still becomes the major cause of crashes around their school zones. Both schools have tried to teach learners basics on how to walk on the right-hand lane and cross safely.
Even where you have traffic lights, they say stop and people continue. If there was a zebra crossing, you were free to move and vehicles would automatically stop.
Let teachers stop sitting in the compound, in the staff room, when children have to cross the roads. We shall not deploy traffic officers in schools, because look at the number of schools on the highways vis-a-vis the ratio of traffic officers in the country.
Some of the interventions that would be adopted to improve safe school zones in this regard would be creating 2-lane roads, narrowing the roads to curb speed, improving visibility of signage, installing traffic lights, and employing road supervisors.
We need to create the crossing zones. After children have left the gate, they walk to a certain distance and cross to the other villages.
We put those road markings. The problem is they are vandalized. That again goes back to the moral fiber of the society.
Also reducing speed limit around school zones from 50 to 30 kilometers per hour as proposed by UN, enhancing speed limit humps and barriers on pavements, but most importantly, continued sensitization campaigns of motorists. Susan Naonga reporting for ABC TV.
Chikube District local government leaders have benefited from an induction program aimed at enhancing revenue mobilization strategies for better service delivery. This came after several infightings during their council sessions that left all the councillors and the district leaders divided.
A commissioner at the Ministry of Local Government, Susan Mujema, has facilitated a topic on the principles, pillars, advantages and challenges of the decentralization policy and challenged the councillors to take their oversight role seriously. Susan Mujema says the leaders' main responsibility is to monitor the implementation of government programs.
The regulations, local government council regulations in the Act, they talk about the role of a councillor. Specifically, the regulation number 8 enumerates the roles of a councillor, and that is something they should be referring to, so that in executing their mandate, they should be working according to the expectation of the law. But also,
Susan Mujema added that the purpose of the induction was to make them aware of their roles in the council as the councillors.
Government's Act that talks about council being the highest political authority in every local government that has legislative and executive powers that must be exercised in line with the Constitution.
Chikube District Chairperson Peter Banura says the council business needs facilitation for the district to have linkages in service delivery.
Leader, we're going to, of course, continue lobbying from the government to continue engaging more of our development partners to refocus some of their goals and objectives towards the water, because the clean water source, a protected water source, is really good for a healthy environment.
Banura appreciated the local government and Action Against Hunger for considering Chikube District because councillors have been lacking such engagements. Susan Kabasindi Zulia Nyakahara, the Secretary for Finance, Chikube District Local Government, said there is demand for a big space for a standard market structure.
Some of our markets are squeezed. As a finance committee, we wanted to come out with the resolution.
Maria Mokol from Action Against Hunger says the training aimed at imparting leadership knowledge and skills to the leaders.
So I'm very excited that as Action Against Hunger under the Right to Grow project funded by Dutch government will support. Also under the CEDA project, we will be constructing over 50 pit latrines to try to address this challenge of open defecation.
The induction program covered areas of decentralization and the local government system, communication and public speaking, management of council and the rules of procedure, legislation and recent legal and policy reforms, planning, budgeting and financial management, the parish development model, urbanization and physical planning, among others.
And with that, let's take a short commercial break. When we return, we'll be back with business news. Do stay tuned.
Talk with freedom. Get MTN Freedom voice bundles that don't expire. Dial *100 *21# or my MTN app for more bundles. Together, we're unstoppable.
The Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development, under the auspices of the East African Community, will host the 10th East African Petroleum Conference and Exhibition 2023 from the 9th to the 11th of May 2023 at the Kampala Serena Hotel in Uganda. Take full advantage of the investment opportunities in the East African region's vibrant oil and gas sector. To find out more on how to sponsor, exhibit, or attend the 10th EAPCE 23, visit www.eapce23.eac.int.
Rokato, this is a quick call. I'm almost out of minutes. Now, the center.
Why rush through such important conversations? Airtel Uganda has made it possible for you to call across all networks in Uganda at the best rates with the new Bona voice bundles. Stay connected anytime, anywhere, with minutes valid for calls on all networks. Dial *100*1#. Select voice bundles and select Bona voice bundles today. Airtel, the smartphone network.
This isn't just a girl. She is the future. This is a teacher, a doctor, a community leader, our future president. She is the hope of our community. And as a community leader, I will talk to others about how we must protect her against child marriage and teenage pregnancy because it affects us all. We each have a role to play in empowering our teenage girls to protect them from pregnancy. Because when we empower them, we empower our nation. Protect the girl, save the nation.
Take action. Report any case of defilement or child marriage to the police or call Sawuti 116.
Are you tired of high fees and slow transfer time when sending money? Look no further. Airtel Money is here to revolutionize the way you move your money. We have revised our rates and now sending money from Airtel to other networks in Uganda, East Africa and to the rest of the world has never been more affordable. Plus, you can trust Airtel Money to get your money where it needs to go quickly and safely. Simply dial *185# and start sending money. Switch to Airtel Money today and experience unbeatable rates and top-notch services for all your local and international money transfer needs. Airtel Money, instant, secure, borderless.
Welcome back. You're still watching the UBC News Tonight. Now, in the world of business, Uganda Revenue Authority at Busia One-Stop Border Post is accusing persons with disabilities at the border post for intensifying smuggling and being used by some business persons to cross over goods from Kenya to Uganda without paying taxes to the government. We have a detailed report on this story.
Baramaga Geoffrey, the Eastern Regional Manager, Customs, based at Tororo, says that persons living with disabilities at the border, more so at Busia, are being used by some business persons who do not want to pay taxes.
Ejagula 35 kg ez'omuceere bagituuka kutunda mitwalo 7 mu 8 bw'oba ogenza ogusaza baagala mitwalo 4 kitundu ogwe musolo ate oba ogufuntudde n'ogutuse Kampala okufunako mitwalo 4 12 nga kitegeeza we nasaza omusolo togenda funako.
Mwajuma Yahya, the chairman, Persons Living with Disabilities, says that some officers in URA are not doing what is in line with the government principles.
Tetulina bakaka betusikirira wabula tusikira kubaffe kusinziira mu ssente bw'oba ofunye obutono n'ogamba kanyemerizeewo tunemu omutwala abaana gye banaalya n'abadde okutusaawo kwa bulamu bwaffe.
Kamus Alias and Omar Richard attribute the smuggling of goods to Kenya to high taxes.
Nkulaba okwange mu musolo oguliwo kati omusolo oguliwo nga bwendaba ebifa Kenya nga mu Uganda nga nze nyumirwa okusumagolinga lwakuba nfunako okuzinga okubeera nga ngula nsala omusolo tosobola okusala.
Did I just hear him say he does that? Anyways, Uganda Cooperative Alliance, in partnership with the International Labour Organization, have agreed to eliminate the vice of child labour across selected districts of the country. This memorandum of understanding is aimed at extending trainings to raise awareness about child labour and protection of children's rights by dealing with different root causes of child labour in the country. Let's have a look.
Coffee farmers and cooperators in the districts of Bushenyi, Kabalore, Hoima, Chikube, Mbale, Stronko, among others, are to benefit from a training program of raising awareness about child labor and protection of children's rights.
To give us more time so that parents who have not yet been trained more to get to know better. Because we have some villages which are far, which we've not yet even gone to.
Tumazire kusoma omazire kusoma nayo semeriro bemusomesa hamutayi wawe orarore kintu kigwire omusoborore kinu ochikoroti kinu
heavy loading, absenteeism in schools, early marriage. But since I trained, we see that now the community.
The General Secretary, Uganda Cooperative Alliance, Ivan Asimwe, says the training is based on a partnership expected to stimulate cooperatives' potential to reduce vulnerability of households by creating jobs and providing social services. Asimwe says global estimates of child labor indicates that a fifth of all African children are involved in child labor and 9% of African children are in risk work.
So what is happening in this country? Most of our children in the rural areas, the statistics go ahead to show that over 34% of child labor is in the rural areas. But we have heard that 94% plus are in the agricultural sector.
The Uganda Cooperative Alliance General Secretary was addressing a press conference at his office in Kampala, where he encouraged farmers and cooperators to support the training aimed at eliminating child labor. He also appealed to government to continue supporting Uganda Cooperative Alliance and farmers by reviving the cooperative bank to facilitate the revamping of cooperatives for social and economic development.
The State Minister for Transport, Fred Byabakama, has observed that high ticket prices is a hindrance to air transport vibrance. Byabakama was officiating a stakeholders conference here in Kampala. Let's have a look.
The Minister of State for Works, Fred Byabakama, has said the ministry is working at ensuring that high ticket costs are reduced to boost the aviation industry. Byabakama says high ticket prices is to be addressed in liaison with Ministry of Works and Transport, Civil Aviation Authority and other partners.
Katuli mukutula ngaba minister aba transport aba East Africa nabo tuongeza dalokendeze sente abantu zebatambulirako okuyita mu banka ate bwezikendera ne business zakwe n'abana Uganda batosobola genda Kenya, Tanzania okula ebyobusuubuzi lwakuba sente zabacharginga ziri waggulu nnyo.
We also know that flying is more efficient, faster, quicker, but it's not being utilized as much as possible because of the high cost of travel. So if this agreement is signed, by Uganda. Uganda will be joining the rest of the countries. I think right now in Africa, over 30 or 40 countries have already signed this agreement.
The Deputy Director General, Uganda Civil Aviation Authority, Olive Birungi, says that flying is faster, but it is not being embraced by many Ugandans because of high ticket prices. She, however, explained that promotion of regional flight connection prices will be managed.
It's being proposed by AFCAP, the African Civil Aviation Union, to bring together states, partner states, and come up with one single transport whereby you find that, say, a traveler between the East African community can be considered as a local travel. So when it's local, then it brings down the cost of flying.
The Manager, Public Affairs, Uganda Civil Aviation Authority, Vianney Mpunguluja, explains that Uganda is one of the countries that is yet to embrace the single African air ticket for easy transport on the market.
About the single African air transport markets, Uganda is one of the few countries that are yet to sign.
He said air ticket costs are high because of high aviation fuel cost.
Passenger ticket costs are high, not only in Uganda, but across the region for various reasons. The main one being aviation fuel costs. The cost of aviation fuel has gone high up, yet it constitutes a very big percentage of the passenger tickets.
As you are with the new Spark 10 series smartphone from Airtel in partnership with Tecno. Own the timelines with picture-perfect selfies using the 32 megapixel selfie camera, 256 GB storage, G88 gaming processor, and a strong battery to last the whole day. Haha, Towakana.
The Spark 10 smartphone comes with free 3 GB from Airtel and 100% bonus on weekly and monthly bundles every month for 3 months, so you can stay connected to a world of possibilities. Dial *100*5# to enjoy free data. The new Spark 10 is available in all selected Tecno shops countrywide. Airtel, the smartphone network in partnership with Tecno. Stop at nothing.
And on the continental scene, airstrikes have intensified in Sudan's capital, Khartoum, despite a truce aimed at allowing civilians to flee. Now, the army said that it was attacking the city to flush out its paramilitary rivals, the Rapid Response Forces. The latest truce was due to end at midnight on Sunday. The RSF said that it had been extended for another 3 days. Millions remain trapped in the capital where food is running short. The first major aid flight landed with medical supplies and has arrived in the country. The International Committee of the Red Cross says that a plane landed at Port Sudan with 8 tons of relief supplies, including health kits from hospitals. More than 70% of health facilities in the capital have been forced to close as a result of the fighting that erupted on 15th of April. More than 500 people have been reported killed, with the actual total number of dead and injured expected to be much higher. Army Commander General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan and the RSF Chief General Mohammed Hamadan Dagalo, better known as Hemedti, are vying for power and disagree in particular about plans to include the RSF into the army.
Iwakato, this is a quick call. I'm almost out of minutes. Now, the center.
Why rush through such important conversations? Airtel Uganda has made it possible for you to call across all networks in Uganda at the best rates with the new Bona voice bundles. Stay connected anytime, anywhere, with minutes valid for calls on all networks. Dial *100*1#. Select voice bundles and select Bona voice bundles today. Airtel, the smartphone network.
And in sports, the Katogo Invitational Golf Tournament has climaxed at the Par 71 Entebbe Golf Club. The tournament is sponsored by I&M Bank that committed to stay put in the sports, especially golf.
Entebbe Golf Club has hosted the second event of the Katogo Invitational Tournament. This Katogo Invitational Tournament, as the name suggests, is a unique nature of golf, mothered by the Par 71 Entebbe Club management. The event is a quarterly home course competition and held exclusively at the Entebbe Club for its members. The first event of 4 of this Katogo Invitational Golf Series was Daytona, held in January, and has been followed by Call Your Shots.
Call Your Shots is before you tee off. You declare the clubs you're going to use. For example, on a par 5 like number 1, you declare that I'm going to use a driver and 3 other clubs. The putter is the one that ends. And if you don't use all those clubs, you add 1 more stroke to your game. So I've been discussing with members today. They found it fascinating. They found it, in fact, some have been calling it, we had to do a feasibility study on each hole. So it was mentally draining. And most of these ones you're seeing arriving on the 18th, they are completely finished, because it has not only been physical, but it has been about deciding on the clubs you're going to use before you tee off and making sure you use all of them.
The tournament is now sponsored by I&M Bank that has committed to stay put in sports, especially golf, with an all-embracing corporate championship.
I like the green that I see here, but more especially the green on the 18 holes and the whole ecosystem around this club. And basically this is how civilization should look like, green and calm. Most importantly, I'm reminded of the people who make this game what it is. The players like you here, the caddies, the course designers, and the countless volunteers who make events like this possible.
So I&M is a bank that targets high net worth individuals and corporate customers. So Entebbe Club is a club that has a membership that boasts of that customer segment. So for I&M to come in and partner with Entebbe Club, it's more like meeting our customers in their moments of comfort. So that's what I&M exists. So our brand promise is we're on your side, and since we know that our customers enjoy golf, we're just here to engage them and give back to them and make sure that we are letting them enjoy the game of golf with us.
This Call Your Shots series attracted 116 players, with 54 of these in the main draw, while others purely for fun and the other benefits that golf offers.
Golf brings with it that relaxation factor, and that's why I play it. And I would encourage everybody out there to come and try it out, because it's not a very difficult sport. Once you get the hang of it, you'll actually enjoy the outdoors, and you'll enjoy being out there in the fresh air and exercising as well. Double benefits.
There were several categories, including the lady guests, which was won by Jovia Tugumi, while Apollo Segawa was the best male guest. In the ladies' main category, Diana Nabukenya triumphed, while Dickinson Akena won the men's Group C. Kenneth Kidu emerged men's Group B winner, with Joseph Bogera claiming the men's Group A gong after returning 71 net. The I&M sponsored Katogo Golf Tournament returns later this year with the third event codenamed Me Too, that will be followed by the Ogosh event in the last quarter of the year. John Barnes, Center, UBC News.
Well, for the first time I've been inspired to play golf. I don't know if it's been the bite that say that it's refreshing, or the fact that they've called it the Katogo Golf Tournament. I don't know. Whichever it is, I feel like I should be playing golf anytime soon. Otherwise, thank you for joining us for this edition of the UBC News Tonight, 8 o'clock. Join us later on at 10 p.m. for another edition. Have yourselves a lovely one.
inspiring Uganda.
Jerry con. Jerry con. Hey, Master Blaster. Touch him, man. Bang Jerry con with muscle. Those ones who say go is for you only. Mundava. Best good I teach you. But never come up with the muscari. Because of the cover is very far.